Okay, so yesterday we did the activity where we learned about steepness, and we tried to define and discover what steepness looks like and means on a graph. So when we talk about steepness on a graph, what we're really doing is we're talking about slope. So it's important that we know what the definition of slope is. So slope is the average rate of change. It tells how steep, it tells how steep a linear function is when graphed. Okay, so key things here. Slope is the average rate of change. Well, we've just reviewed some of the course 2 material where rate of change was taught. You guys already know constant rate of change. We just didn't use it with the word slope last year. So you already know this. It tells how steep a linear function is when graphed. So it's looking at that angle on the graph. So we represent slope with the formula delta y over delta x. So that triangle is called a delta symbol. That is a Greek letter of the alphabet. And what does that mean? It means the change in y over the change in x. And then delta is a Greek letter which means change. Okay? So delta y over delta x means the change in y over the change in x. Just like constant rate of change in course 2. Everyone okay with that? Feeling good so far? Okay. So this here is what the idea of slope is. Now, there are different types of slope, and it's important that we remember that the different angles on the graph represent different things. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you a little bit of a story, which will hopefully help you to remember what the different angles mean as far as slope goes. So let me introduce you to my friend. This is Ski Dude. That's Ski Dude. Do you see he's on skis there? Okay, I know my drawing's fantastic. So when Ski Dude skis on a mountain, he only skis from left to right. So he's always traveling in the direction east. That's really important because just like everything else, math we read from left to right. So if I read it in a different way, it's gonna not hold true. So Ski Dude starts out on the ground, but in order to ski, he has to be able to go up the mountaintop to get to the top to come down. So Ski Dude starts his trek up the mountain, and it's a really long, hard trek. So as he's going up the mountain, he's getting tired. And he says, this is puff, puff, positive. Puff, puff. I'm so out of breath. I'm so exhausted. Puff, puff, positive. Oh, poor Ski Dude. So Ski Dude gets to the top of the mountain. He's pretty excited because that was a really hard climb up. I mean, could you imagine taking your skis up that? There's no chairlift here. So puff, puff, positive. He is out of breath. Now, Ski Dude is at the top of the mountain and he's ready to go. So Ski Dude starts his descent down the mountain. Now he's going downhill here. And as he goes downhill, he yells out, "Not so hard, negative," because you're going downhill. So it's not so hard. It's not a lot of effort. So this is not so hard, negative. So Ski Dude comes down, not so hard, negative. It's a blast going down the mountain. Now, Ski Dude gets to the worst part of skiing ever. And if you ski, you know what I'm talking about. This part here, this flat part that you have no more help on. And he gets here and he's like, oh no, I have, his legs got short. He has zero help now because it's flat land. There's no more angle. He has zero help, which is not good. And those of you that ski or snowboard, you know, when you hit that straightaway, if you don't have the speed, you end up taking your stuff off and having to walk because you don't have any help from the mountain anymore. So he gets on this spot and it's zero help and he's really disappointed. And as he's trekking along, he doesn't notice something, which is not good. There's an edge of a cliff here. And as Ski Dude goes along the zero help, he doesn't see the edge and he goes over it. And as he falls off the cliff, he yells out the worst curse word in math. Undefined. So here he falls off the cliff and yells the worst curse word in math. And that word again was undefined. And that is the story of Ski Dude. The cliff ended him. Very sad. Okay, so now I'm sure you guys loved my storytelling and drawing abilities, and you're wondering why I don't just teach math. So we're going to go back and we are going to make sure we have a clear understanding of how this relates to math. So the first thing that I'm going to be looking at here is the puff, puff, positive, which means positive slope. So in order to have a positive slope, I start on the left and I rise to the right. This right here is what a positive slope looks like. Starting on the left, rising to the right when I go east. This is a positive slope. Now, when I get to the top of the mountain and I'm going down, that not so hard negative means that I'm starting on the left and I'm going down to the right. So if I have something going in this direction, this is a negative slope. My flat land of no help, this right here is my zero slope. So if I have a zero slope, I just have a horizontal line. And then the worst curse word of all is this blue, which is undefined. And that blue is a vertical line on our graph. So again, the 4 types of slope are positive slope, negative slope, zero slope, and undefined. And hopefully the story of Ski Dude and what he experienced will help you to remember what the types of slope are.